Time for Friday Night Spotlight. Who is the leader of the Democrat Party? After a week of election wins, the answer should be clear, right? Wrong. According to a new poll, nobody knows. Kamala Harris taking the second spot, followed by nobody. Seems logical. Scary for Democrats, but logical. The reaction from voters is telling. A 26-year-old white woman from Arizona who voted for Kamala says, ugh, no one. A 50-year-old Harris voter from California sums it all up, quote, not sure who it is right now. That's kind of a problem. Meanwhile, Republicans look just fine. Secretary of State Marco Rubio wears many hats, but the role of president is not one he is apparently looking at for now. Politico is reporting a third person close to the White House, granted anonymity to speak candidly, said the expectation is J.D. as nominee and Rubio as VP. President Trump is apparently already whipping Vance into executive shape, busting his chops over China's obedient cabinet.
I want my cabinet to behave like that. I'm demanding that I want them sitting up like that, Tim, just nice and straight. I never saw posture like that. I've never seen men so scared in their lives. They have the equivalent of a vice president. I said, are you going to answer my question? And he's like, he doesn't move. J.D. doesn't behave like that. J.D. buds into conversations. I want to have that for at least a couple of days, okay, J.D.? We'll keep you long term, but a couple of days of that would be very, very nice. Okay.
He stood up straight. He stood up straight. Let's bring in our spotlight panel. It's Fox News contributor Joe Concha, Fox News anchor Julie Banderas, and editor-in-chief at The Federalist, Molly Hemingway. Joe's working on his audio, so we'll go straight to Molly. Let's talk about the Democrats first, Molly. No one. Answer, no one. Who's the leader of the party? Where are they going in the future? And the answer right now is aimlessly.
I think it's clear that they do have a leader, and their leader is Donald Trump. The only organizing principle they have is hatred for Donald Trump. And so whether they want to admit it or not, I think that's who they're following.
I think that's absolutely right, Molly. I think he's actually the only unifying factor in the entire country, not just for Democrats, but for Republicans as well right now as we speak. It's either hatred on one side or love and fear on the other. And I'll be curious what happens with everyone after the exit of Donald Trump. But, Julie, it looks like the succession plan is taking shape, and it looks pretty clear to be J.D. Vance.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, on the Republican side. But when you talk about the Democrats not having a leader, they literally don't. They haven't had a leader since President Obama was in office, which is really, really sad. But I will say, I hope to God it's not Zohran Mamdani, because I just have to comment on that. What a disaster for New York City. What a disaster for mayoral candidacy and for future political gains for the Democratic Party. Because if they think that Zohran Mamdani is the wave of the future, they are dead wrong. Socialism does not work in a democratic state, and it's going to be an absolute disaster for New Yorkers. So let's just hope that New York doesn't prove that this is going to be a successful way forward for the Democratic Party.
Joe, how smooth do you believe the entire succession would be from Donald Trump to J.D. Vance? He won't be the only person vying for the presidency. Whether or not Marco Rubio is on that stage, that debate stage, you can anticipate there will be other people. You can probably anticipate Senator Ted Cruz.
Perhaps, yes. I think, Will, in the end, if President Trump endorses J.D. Vance is accepted by MAGA more than any other public figure. Maybe Marco Rubio is a very close second. So if Trump endorses J.D., you tell me how that's going to go for any other candidate, because once that happens, once MAGA wants something, ask Ron DeSantis, ask Nikki Haley, that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I find myself increasingly captivated by the idea that you introduced, Molly, and that is, what does politics look like without Donald Trump? And I think we're already beginning to see that explosion, that chaos, 1,000 pieces for Democrats. I just think he's the biggest. He's Michael Jordan. What happens after Michael Jordan? What does it look like in the political landscape? By the way, speaking of Ted Cruz, we'll go back to you on this, Molly. Jasmine Crockett has been asked about running for Senate in the state of Texas, and she said, well, I know that now's the window for John Cornyn, but she'd really been thinking about Ted Cruz. Watch.
I have no intentions of being in Congress for 30, 40 years. So for me, I honestly had planned to go after Ted Cruz. I was strategically planning to go after Ted Cruz.
She was going to go after Ted Cruz. I don't know if she's going to bump up the timeline, but it's hard to imagine Senator Crockett.
Well, the person who would be most excited about her running would probably be Ted Cruz. This is a woman who does have quite a bit of aspirations. She really loves to make her voice heard in Congress. But this is not the type of voice or extremism that the Democrat Party is going to want if they think they have any chance of winning Texas statewide, which is still a little bit of a pipe dream for them.
Well, and I would say, Molly, if not Ted Cruz, and I've heard this specifically, the other most excited people would be John Cornyn and Ken Paxton, who are up in this next cycle.
Yeah.
And I think they relish the idea of Jasmine Crockett. Why, Julie? Because of greatest hits like this.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess, honey. Somebody slap me and wake me the up, because I'm ready to get on with it.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
We have a Timu Hitler in the White House right now.
I actually can't believe there are Texas Democrats that are taking this seriously, Julie.
I actually want to grab a fly swatter every time I see her because I always mistake her eyelashes for bugs, but that's not even the point. First of all, John Cornyn would love for her to run in because she knows that she wouldn't have a chance. She even said, I don't think I'm going to run against John Cornyn. I wouldn't stand a chance, but I'm going to spend a ton of money trying to figure out whether I stand a chance. Let me just save you a couple bucks. No. And the reason being is that she barely does any work in Congress. Why in the world would anybody elect her to Senate? She doesn't even live in the district in which she represents. She is a poor excuse for what is now this, far left extreme position in Washington. And very soon people are going to grow tired of it. They already have.
All right, Joe, Elon Musk has been approved for a new $1 trillion pay package. And what better way to celebrate than with one of his robots dancing?
And those bots are just dancing. There are no wires. Those are actual robots.
I'm terrified, Joe. I'm terrified.
I'm freaked out.
Sorry. I'm freaked out.
It's not the friendly robot in Rocky IV that serves Paulie, right? So $1 trillion. Wow. I mean, imagine if you had $1 trillion, any of us here. I would open up a chain of sports bars across the country. The sports bar would be called Karma. There would be no menu. You just get what you deserve. Wouldn't that be awesome? And then Cobra Kai dojos all over the country, bigger and badder than ever.
I just want to know the waitress. Who is the waitress that's deciding? I don't want to be Julie Banderas. Who is the waitress deciding what I deserve?
No.
Oh, that's an excellent question.
I would like to actually make that decision
available,
for you all.
I mean, she roller skates really well because they'll all be on roller skates. Yes.
Julie's like, you get nothing
God.
and you like it. That's how it's going to work at that restaurant.
Yeah, Joe, you're getting nothing, actually.
Molly, really quickly, What are you doing with the $1 trillion a year?
Never flying corporate air travel ever again.
Which, by the way, would be great and handy today. Thank you, the three of you, for the Friday Night Spotlight. Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.